Hello and welcome to the Beer Search Party. This is Sean Inman with you, and we are reviewing a Stone Imperial Russian Stout. This is part of their classic release. They earlier had the Old Guardian earlier this year in 2011. This is the second classic release. The brother of this beer is the anise, Belgo Anise Imperial Russian Stout, which was very licoricey, but also very good. Now this is just the regular version, but it's the brand new logo and everything for the 2011. It's got the lovely gargoyle there. But one thing that hasn't changed, this is all nice and beautifully marketed, but all that lovely amounts of wording that they always put on the back of their bottles is still there and is long. This one is actually fairly readable too. I think it's only about a 8 or 9 font. Usually it's really teeny tiny. But this is a big boy. This is a nice big 10.5% Imperial Russian Stout. And as you can see, it is very, very, very black. It's got the creamy head with the lacing going on. It's quite the beautiful beer. Now let's take a... Now it's a lot of coffee, a lot of chocolate in that aroma, but just very thick smelling almost. It's not what you usually use with describing aromas, but it does have a very, you know right off the bat, just from the aroma, that this is not a light, frothy, heavily carbonated type of summer beer. I'm also getting some charred sort of notes as well. Wow, that is extremely smoky, almost Rauschbeerish almost to a certain extent. There's just a lot of charred taste. They say on the back that there's black currants and anise in this one too. Maybe it's because I already had the anise one that this doesn't have nearly the pop that that one did. Getting a lot of charred. I'm getting coffee grounds. Not coffee, but just sort of that you've made your coffee and that smell you get from the end process. It's not super thick actually though. And not a lot of other flavors going on for me. Just a slight spice profile to it. It's almost a savory-ish sort of spice to it to me. It's strong, but it masks that alcohol until much later after you've drunk it. Some beers you'll have and it's like, whoa, that's alcoholic, and you know it from first aroma, from popping the top off of it, that you know, oh my, this was a big one. This one is very smooth right up until probably about 80% of the way through. And then you get that little sort of burn that goes through, that alcoholic burn. Nice and warming, especially on a gloomy day that we're having today. Interesting, but rather one notice, and I think I prefer the Belgo Anise version. I think that adds the strength of this IRS when you add the anise, which is also powerful, and the Belgian anise, which definitely has a distinctive profile to it. You get 3 big things working together. Here we just have the one, and it just doesn't work quite as well for me. It's interesting, but it's a little too smoky for my particular taste. But if you're into that smoky, then by all means, this is definitely, I think this will be right up the Rausch beer fans' alley for sure. That being said, I am much pickier on my darker beers than I am on lighter beers. Pale ales and IPAs tend to get a little more of a wider variety that I will cotton to, whereas the bigger beers, for whatever reason, I know it's swimming against the tide, but there really has to be a very specific profile for me to enjoy it as much as something else. So there you go, the Stone Imperial Russian Stout, the 2011 classic release from the soon-to-be very expanding Stone Brewery. And I guess that's it. If you want further information about all the things that I do beer-wise, you can go to www.beersearchparty.com. That's www.beersearchparty.com. I promote beers, I promote beer events in Los Angeles and in other places, and I basically just talk about beer. Alright, thanks for watching. This is Sean. Have a great day. Cheers.